What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the nerd dad himself, Zach Keenan.
Hi, how's it going?
Going
Happy
good?
to be with y'all.
Yeah, and also joining us here tonight is the one, the only, JJ Purdom.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for having me once again in the virtual studio.
Yeah, thanks for joining me again tonight, boys. I almost said ladies, and I was like, that's very mean, boys.
Is that because of Zetch's diminutive size, dude? I mean, that's really hurtful. I feel like, yes, he is kind of feminine. But for you to say that right on the show like that, like 2 minutes into, you haven't even gotten into like the Patreon stuff, and you're already calling him a little sissy girl. That's kind of hurtful,
y'all.
dude.
Look, I'm just going to say this. How about I challenge you guys to a beard off?
I'll lose.
Oh,
I'm out.
I would win so hard, dude. I would win so hard. Like, hey, I shaved this off yesterday. I've already got a full beard again. Okay? I'm a man. Okay? I grew up, I'm Irish, and not only that, I'm also white trash. And so Irish and white trash together make one hell of a beard, my friend.
You're Irish
If
trash?
you want to do a beard off, I'll beard you to death, dude. Yeah, I'm kind of like Irish trash. Yeah, it's like a whole thing.
Bring it.
It grows in all Joe Dirty, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it grows in Joe Dirt style, you know. But you don't rock a mustache very well. You kind of got that Amish thing going on. Do you trim it like that, or does it actually go like Zedge?
It tickles when
what do we call people who tell lies? Don't say that on the podcast. Don't. This is a PG podcast.
When you go in for a smooch?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something totally different, man.
Nope.
Wow.
Definitely wasn't going to go where you're going.
That's right.
That's for sure.
So oral sex, and that's, you shouldn't talk about that on a video game podcast.
Okay.
Kids listen to this shit.
Oh, Zach, how was your weekend?
It was great.
Yeah. Tell me some more about it, please.
Chop down a tree, because I'm a man. Like a giant redwood.
I pay people to do that because I'm also a man and I have a credit card. I'm just kidding. I don't have a credit card.
No, we did some of that. Hung out with the fam. Played some more board games. Pretty fun. Had my brother-in-law and my sister over on Saturday, and we played Villainous. I don't know if you guys have heard that board game.
No.
So it's like each of you guys play as a Disney villain, and which Disney. I know Disney villain. It's like I'm not really a Disney guy either, but once someone explained it to me, I was like, okay, I could be into it, and now I'm like really enjoying it. So basically, each of you guys plays like a Disney villain, and you each have your own objective, right? So like if you're Jafar, your goal in the game is to collect both pieces of the medallion, beat the genie, and then bring the genie and the lamp back to the palace where you win the game, right? Or if you're like Maleficent, your job is to like curse every single part of the world that you're in. And there's like each character has like 4 spots that can move. That's really well done. So it's basically, but you can while you're working on your objective, you also have a chance to summon like a hero or some sort of obstacle to another player's world. So, for example, like if I'm playing as Maleficent, then I can summon, like Aladdin to Jafar's world, and now Jafar has to deal with Aladdin screwing up his stuff. So it's like you're trying to get your objectives done before anybody else does, and you're able to mess with your teammates a little bit, but it's still pretty casual where you can just like kind of talk and hang out and eat chips and dip without having to be like,
That's my favorite kind of game. One where you can eat chips and dip at the same time.
Yeah. It's the perfect party game. So, but yeah, that's kind of what we did. It was really fun. It was really enjoyable.
Nice. That's awesome.
How are you guys?
Garrett, do you share in my kind of hurt that Zetch didn't invite us over to play Villainous? I kind of feel like we've kind of dropped hints so many times here on the show, like, hey, Zetch, when are we going to all hang out? And the invites keep getting dropped, and you just go, oh, man, we had another socially distanced get-together with, like, people I don't even know. Like, I just invited neighbors over, but I didn't think to invite you guys. And my co-host, my best friends.
I got an invite. You didn't get one?
You don't like Garrett. You don't gotta
awkward, awkward. Yeah,
No,
I got one. I turned it down, but sorry,
I'm kind of a
JJ.
little hurt, Zetch. I kind of thought we were getting pretty close. I mean, we did talk about getting those matching tattoos, so I feel like maybe.
Oh yeah, I got mine, by the way.
Well. Oh, you didn't even wait. I thought we were going to go together. Okay.
I didn't know we were going together.
Okay.
You didn't send me an invite.
Okay. Oh, damn. Oh, you got me. Okay, never mind.
You got me.
That's good. You got me. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No. What about you, JJ? What did you do this weekend?
You know what? I watched Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter, and I watched it with all the kids. And it was pretty dang neat because all the kids cuddled on the couch. My wife was sitting at one end giving my daughter a head massage while my daughter put her feet in my lap. So I'm massaging my daughter's feet. We're all watching Harry Potter. My other little girl came in came onto the couch, jumped up and was like, "Dad, rub my feet." And so then I'm like rubbing both my daughter's feet. And then my son got jealous. So he came over and sat on me because I have that much hip apparently. So he came over and laid down. And I was kind of like I have two arms. I know you guys can't tell. I have two arms, but I was trying to like rub and give affection to all of them while we're sitting there watching Harry Potter. My youngest had to turn a few times from some of the scarier moments. And I'm just like, let her go. We're fine. And like, thankfully Janet is more like, there's going to be nightmares, so let's make sure that she turns for stuff. I'm like, Voldemort's not scary.
Oh, that's scary.
But
you
then
just have a nose.
Yeah, it's just not a nose, and there's some people who don't have noses, and we don't want her to react like that when she sees them in public.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I'm trying to think of the future. So it was nice.
I have a story about Harry Potter. Can I tell my story about Harry Potter?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I also watched a Harry Potter movie this weekend. I watched the second one because I've seen that first one like a million times, and I've had a few friends, and I've talked about it publicly on the podcast who are like, you guys have all been like, you need to watch more, you need to watch them, you need to read the books. Everyone that says you need to read the books, you need to watch movies. So, anyways, I saw they're free on Peacock right now if you have the NBC streaming service.
That's where we watched it too.
And so I fired up the second one. I took a picture of, the title screen, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, text it to my buddies. We have a group text chat. Holy smokes. In the span of like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something, 20 minutes, maybe even, no, it was quicker than that. It was like not very long. All of a sudden it was just like, for that whole time, it was like my phone was blowing up. Like there was like over 30 or 40 text messages. It's boom, 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 boom. They were furious at me because apparently I'm supposed to read the books first before I watch any of the movies. They're like, no, stop watching the movie. You can't watch the movie right now. You got to read the books first.
That's a serious offense to Harry Potter nerds.
Apparently.
Like a serious offense.
I didn't read any of the books.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get hate mail now too. But they were telling me like, I'll even lend you the books. Heck, I'll pay for an audiobook. I'll do whatever it like, blah blah. And they're like telling me all the reasons I need to read the books first, and it was like crazy. I'm like, guys, I'm trying to watch a movie here. Like, shut up. Like, stop texting me. But yeah, they were like blowing up. So I'm like, okay, I promise after this, I'm not gonna watch any more of the movies. I'm gonna read the books or listen to audiobooks, and before I watch any more of the movies. Finally appeased them. But man, I did not expect that. I thought they'd be so proud of me because for so long they're like, you need to watch the movies, you need to read the books. Like, they didn't say what order. They just said you need to do those things. And I'm like, hey, look, guys, I watched the movie. I'm doing it. Can we be friends now? Because my one buddy Derek is like, if you don't read the books and watch the movies, we can't be friends anymore. I'm like, okay, cool. So I got on it, and then he's the one who's like, no, what are you doing? Stop right now. I'm like, holy smokes, guys. Like, I just can't win. I can't win. So yeah, that's my Harry Potter story from this weekend.
That's awesome. We're actually getting ready to watch Harry Potter Part 2, The Chamber of Secrets, tomorrow night. Because, in fact, they wanted to do it tonight. When I got home, my youngest was saying, can we watch Harry Potter 2? And I'm like, nope, I'm doing the podcast tonight. Oh, man. So we're going to do that tomorrow night. And I think we're just going to go through each of the movies and I'll watch them. Peacock is fantastic. I've watched a few great things on there, like the documentary for Mr. Rogers. that was fantastic. I don't know if you've seen that yet, guys, but it's a really great documentary. So the other thing I did this weekend, I just wanted to share real quick, is our town had a cleanup, like a fall cleanup, where you take stuff out of your yard and you can go take brush and debris and whatever, like old couches you got, or dead bodies, whatever. And I did like 3 loads to the dump this weekend of just various things out of the garage, out of things that I'm holding on to. And I just purged a lot of stuff. So I'm feeling like $1 million, so much better. My place looks fantastic now. It'll be junked up again with stuff in a couple of weeks, but still, for now, today, it looks amazing. And I feel very accomplished.
Nice. That's awesome. I mowed the lawn. I don't know if that's the same thing, but I felt pretty accomplished after
it's
that.
It's the same. Totally the same.
Like, I haven't mowed the lawn in a long time. I should do that.
I chopped down a redwood.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I got a little Paul Bunyan.
That sounds so manly, dude, when you say it like that. Like, I just picture you with a double-bladed axe just swinging like crazy.
How I did it.
And flannel and overalls.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Now, this time it was
like 100
this time
degrees outside.
my dad chopped it down. I just kind of helped with the branches part.
Okay.
Hauling brush, throwing things like a wood chipper.
Oh, that's cute.
You want to talk about a man? My dad is a man. My dad.
Is he really?
Oh, so we brought it down. Like, he has like legit like tree climbing gear and all this stuff.
Oh, wow.
He's like just trimming the branch, like all the way up, spiraling all up, trimming all the branches, and he gets to like almost to the top, and then just like saws through. And so me, my brother-in-law, had to like yank. He's like, "All right, you ready?
Catch!"
So he had to like tie a rope off the top of it, and you top it. So then you have to like pull it as hard as you can, and have it like nearly like fall on top of you. So you have to yank it and then run. And so, yeah, that's what we did.
Hey, do you think that I can like maybe convince your dad to come over and play the part of my dad, since my dad is dead, and I would love to have a tree cut down at my house? That'd be awesome. I'll even call your dad, and I will give him some like total like tap water, but I'll put some ice in it. I mean, I'm cool.
I don't think he'll do it.
Can I borrow
for that.
him?
He'll probably do it for American cash, USD.
Oh, dude.
Just like my dad. No, just kidding.
Does it have to be American?
Yes.
Okay.
More than likely, yeah.
I'm out.
Sorry, man.
Oh, man. Cool.
All I got is like the loonies or the Canadian bills. Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't gonna
Got
cut
those
it.
loonies and toonies going.
Or the tree. Yeah. Get it? Cut it.
Okay.
Nice dad joke. That was good.
Today, guy. Okay. Today, we're going to be talking about some new PS5 details and why the Xbox Series X will be this holiday's hottest item. Literally. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Super Gamer producer, Adrian, the homeboy Holmes, and our Super Gamer sponsors. We have Bill Bird, Julie Bates, Dustin Long, Brent Fox, and Daniel James. Thank you guys all so much for your support each and every month. You guys are all killing it. You're awesome. All you who are in the show description as well, you're awesome. And all you who support us at $1 a month, you're awesome. Thank you so much for that support. You can support us just like them over at patreon.com/supergamerboys, where they get episodes early and ad-free, and they get bonus episodes like Super Gamer Book Club once a month. The end of every month, last Friday of every month, we're releasing that. Last month was Bioshock. If you join now, you get that one right away. And then at the end of this month, we're doing Mass Effect 2. Zetch is doing that with some guest hosts, so that'll be fun. So yeah, patreon.com/supergamerboys to support us there, but we're going to talk more about our Patreon later in the show. Now it is time to check the mailbag.
It's mailbag time.
Man, he sounds so thrilled this week. Oh, he got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. The man is tired. All the tree cutting he did this weekend with his dad.
It's catching up. All right, so his first question comes from Sir Prince a lot on Discord. He says, not because it's October, just because I'm curious. Yeah. Okay. Which one of these classic movie monsters, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Wolfman, the Mummy, Frankenstein, etc., would you work with?
Wait, what's etc.?
I don't know. Like
all the classic Universal monsters?
Like the Invisible Man.
Didn't he like just name them all? Okay, Invisible Man.
I don't know, like I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right. I can't really think
Dracula,
of any more.
Frankenstein, the werewolf, creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Invisible Man.
So I guess that's all of them.
Yeah.
So
it's the classic Universal monsters.
I don't know what the etc. means then, other than to see Invisible
Man.
The
Mummy as well.
He said the mummy.
He said the mummy. Basically, he just didn't want to write out Invisible Man. Maybe he didn't know how to spell invisible. It's a hard word to spell.
That's mean.
It is.
That's cruel.
It's fine. He'll text me later about it. One, work with for a day at your job. 2, cook a meal with. And 3, play video games with. So essentially, it's what we did a couple weeks ago with the robots, with the droids, but now with classic movie monsters because it's the spooky month. And also, we're not marrying or killing everyone, any of them. We're just experiencing different aspects of life with them. So which one would you want to work with, cook with, and play video games with?
Who's going first?
Okay, let me go.
Okay.
All right, so here's the deal. Okay, so one of them is playing video games with, right?
Yes.
I would think that it would be a trip to play with the werewolf. I feel like he would be super aggressive if he lost a lot. You know what I mean? Like I want that kind of friend who's not going to be as good as me, and I feel like he's got a lot of aggression. So I'd like to play with the werewolf if we're going to do video games. I think he'd be kind of cool, couch co-op kind of friend. As far as somebody I'd like to work with, I'm going to want somebody who's got a strong back and who's kind of dumb and who I can make do a lot of my actual work. So I'm thinking Frankenstein, because dude, I could totally get that dude to do my work for me. I think he'd be so easy to manipulate. I mean, I think it'd be fun to work with him, and he'd probably be, like a really solid worker with good work ethic. And what was the other thing?
Which would you want to cook a meal with?
Cook a meal with?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I was gonna say Dracula. But he doesn't eat any food, so he's going to know anything about cooking. So
we know how much you love. Also, we know how much you love to cook with garlic. That doesn't really work out there.
I do love a lot of garlic. I do love garlic. I'm going to say the Mummy, and here's why I choose the Mummy. Because the Mummy, first of all, doesn't eat a whole lot more for me. I mean, that's simple. It's really easy to comprehend. It's he's not going to want to taste it. I'm going to go tear it up. It's not like he can digest it anyway. His stuff's all shriveled. Also, he's covered in spices. So I'm just thinking, he's got a lot of spices. There's probably oregano and stuff like that shoved all into his bandages and stuff like
Rigor
that.
mortis.
And it's aged. And it's aged well.
No.
So I would say the Mummy to cook a meal with.
No.
And he's also not going to be all talkative. You know what I mean? So then I can do most of the talking, which is what you guys know I love to do anyway. So it's a win, win, win. You guys got nothing. Just saying.
I would want to work with Dracula because I do the office stuff, and I was like, okay, I feel like he's the smartest of the bunch. He could answer phones, he can do billing stuff, he can handle all that, so he can sit at the desk and do my work. Cook a meal with. I would want to cook a meal with Wolfman because he's gonna go out and hunt something down. That's what we're cooking up. He's gonna bring back a deer or something. He's gonna bring back fresh meat. That's what I'm looking forward to. Some good, nice fresh venison or something. Go get a pig. I don't know. He's got the claws, so he can get something. Game with. I would say that's a tricky one. Probably the Mummy for me. I was thinking where would the creature of the Black Lagoon go? But he's all goopy and gross, and I don't want him getting on junk all over my controllers.
Oh yeah. And the Mummy's totally clean.
No.
The Mummy is all dried out.
Vacuum, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the Mummy's
he's
dry,
not leaving
dry
any
and
wet
dusty.
stains
Yeah,
or
he's
anything.
dry and dusty. You just go in there with a shop vac and you're good to go. Black Lagoon's
Right.
gonna make it
I
sticky,
like where your
and
head's
it's
at.
like a kid, like when a 2-year-old gets hold of a controller, it's gonna be sticky forever now. It touches it once, it's done. Throw it in the trash. So yeah, definitely the Mummy because I think he could be pretty good at the old Call of Duty Warzone possibly. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, wait and see. You let me know how that goes.
I feel like he'd be kind of a button smasher. You know what I mean? I just feel like he'd kind of just be a button smasher. But
Let's play some Smash Brothers.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
They play like me, how I play Smash Brothers, just mashing all the buttons.
I probably would want to just hang out with just the Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man with that for all of them.
Yeah. I mean,
he's pretty smart too. He's probably pretty
he's
interesting.
a genius.
Yeah,
he's
interesting
like super
dude
smart.
to talk with.
What about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Isn't that one too?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'd love doing work with him. I want to see how he does in the customer service department.
Oh man, that'd be terrifying to witness. Okay, yeah. Let me transfer you right now, and then like he switches. Okay, here's how it's gonna go, guys.
Garrett, isn't that what you do to customers now when they
That's
call?
basically what I do.
I
put them on hold and pretend I'm transferring them over to John, and then I just go off, man. No, just kidding.
Nice.
Alrighty.
And then,
Oh yeah, you
work
have
with.
Work with.
I'd probably have to pick. Oh no, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was to work with.
Okay.
To cook with. Yeah, Wolfman, because he can do my hunting.
That's what I'm talking about. Fresh meat.
Yeah.
As long as it's not human.
Whatever. As long as he doesn't tell me.
As long as it comes in all
It tastes
prepped.
like chicken.
Yeah, not bad.
As long as it doesn't come in looking like human, it's fine. Oh, man. Cool. One last question here. Kajoma01, the board over on Discord, writes in, I finished listening to a Star Wars book today, and it made me wonder, do you have anything...
I'm sorry. Sorry. I got allergies, guys.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. Yeah, and just being mean to our listeners here. It's bullying our listeners.
Oh, no,
It's not
I
nice.
love Kajoma. Dude, are you kidding? Kajoma the board is the man. Like, dude, he's more manly than Zetch's dad. Sorry. Go ahead. What were we saying?
Do you have anything that you like the offshoots better than the original IP? I like the stuff around Star Wars way better than some of the movies. So, yeah, basically, is there an IP where, yeah, you like the spin-offs a little more than the main event, I guess you could say, the main product?
That's tough. I know, man, who is it? I forgot the publisher. Oh, IDW. IDW Publishing makes Transformers comics. And I was following those for a while, and those are really good. It was like the War for Cybertron, and they were really, really well put together. Cool art.
Oh, nice.
The guy who did it all, but I think I have them laying around somewhere.
Huh.
Yeah, those are really good.
That's cool.
That's probably the only thing. I don't really follow a lot of like anything offshoots. Like, I'll be honest, like I don't really read. I'll read, but I don't really read fiction. So like, and I know that sounds really pretentious, but I don't. If I'm gonna read a story for the sake of it just being a story, I'd rather just play a video game. So.
Touche. For me, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm going with it. I tend to enjoy Mario games such as like Mario Kart and Mario Tennis and Mario Party and all those more than the mainline Mario games.
I guess that counts. Kinda. Barely counts.
Like, not that I don't enjoy like the 3D Mario games or the 2D side scrollers or whatever, but because to me those would be the main core games. Would either be like 3D like Sunshine or 64 type thing or Galaxy, or like a 2D side scrolling kind of like 3D World or whatever.
Dude,
I tend to like I like the more like spin-off type things, like having Mario, like Smash Brothers is not a Mario game, I was going to say that, but yeah, like Mario Kart, Mario Party, and Mario Tennis, like that type of thing. I like those fun party one-off games, Mario Golf, stuff like that, way more than I think the other things, which call me crazy, but I don't know. That's just me.
Did you like the Mario plus Rabbids game?
I did, yeah. Like that's one I really enjoyed. I actually got super far into it. I only stopped because I got to a level that I just could not beat. Like,
but you didn't beat it. Yeah.
I didn't beat it, but it's like Surprise. I said, I got that super hard level, and with that game, I was trying to play through it without, because you can bump it down to an easier difficulty when you get to an encounter. And I didn't want to do that. I was like, no, I want to beat this game on normal. and I hit this one mission that I could not figure out.
Like a pride thing.
So yeah, that's what happened with that. But I really loved, that Rabbids game is a perfect example. I love that. That's so cool.
If you like that game, you should totally check out XCOM.
That's what everyone says.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah, see,
and it's got permadeath.
I'm bad at video games, so harder isn't always great. But I have XCOM 2. It was like free on PlayStation Plus last year sometime, so I have it on PS4. So
yeah, that's a good one. That's what I have. I've got it on PC.
Nice. What about you, Jay? Do you have anything or?
Yes, absolutely. So I grew up in an environment in the 80s where when I was a kid, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe were really big, and it was huge good guys and huge bad guys, very colorful. The entire series was created for cartoons, right? So I grew up just idolizing He-Man and all these giant muscles and this cartoon character. And then I happened upon pro wrestling. WWF Pro Wrestling. Hulk Hogan was a real-life flesh and blood He-Man. He was a good guy who fought against huge bad guys like Andre the Giant. And it was so over the top that I became this huge fan of pro wrestling. And at the time, I didn't realize that it was predetermined, that it was a show. I just thought like these guys are fighting and like, wow, Hulk Hogan's this ultimate superhero. He's Superman come to life. He can actually body slam 500-pound Andre the Giant, who's 7'4" tall. And so I grew up loving pro wrestling. Idolized it, and as I've gotten older, it's changed, it's morphed, it's gone through so many different phases, and I do not like what WWE puts out on a weekly basis anymore. There's 3 hours of wrestling on Monday nights on Monday Night Raw. There's 2 hours of primetime on Fox on Friday nights, and I cannot stand it. But WWE created NXT, which is a developmental system, which is like an offshoot of what they do. And it's younger talent, and it's grittier, it's more serious, it's more sports oriented. And they are doing some really phenomenal stuff. So, and it's also usually only a couple of hours. I usually watch it off of Hulu, which is like an hour. You watch like a truncated version, and it's super easily digestible. It's great stories. Like I said, it's sports oriented, and it's what I like. I want it to be presented a little more serious. I love comedy, but when comedy is used on a routine basis in pro wrestling, it's not for me. It just comes across as cheesy and like, why am I wasting my time? And when it's 3 hours of wrestling on Mondays and 2 hours on Fridays, I just don't have that kind of time to give.
It's a lot of wrestling.
And honestly, the writing's not that great anymore. And the characters aren't, I mean, there are some really great characters. There's some good writing, but it's not enough to sustain you. And when you can go and watch Breaking Bad and get really invested in a great story for an hour, it's hard for you to go and try to do that with wrestling because it's presented for kids and you know, it's family friendly now. It's PG. You know, my wife still doesn't want the kids to watch it because she's got the mindset that, oh, it's TNA and it's dirty and it's like, no, that was the 90s where they went, you know, geared towards older teenagers and young adults. Now it's geared towards kids and families. It's family. It's like Ringling Brothers essentially. But the NXT brand on Wednesday nights on USA it's perfect. It's what wrestling's supposed to be. So I enjoy that a lot, and that's an offshoot. And I can't watch the flagship shows that WWE produces each and every week.
Yeah,
nice,
cool. That's awesome.
That's sweet. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, it's cool that they come up with something like that. Like, because wrestling, I don't know. Yeah, it was such like a. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. This to me, it always seemed like such a narrow group of people who would be into it necessarily, like, or potentially. So like to have like those offshoots that can cater to different audiences, so you're still getting your wrestling fix but just with different flavors. You know, that's kind of cool.
It's morphed completely. When I was a kid, it was cartoon characters, you know, Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, the big bad Russian, and you know, stuff like that. And then as I got to high school,
wait, back up. Nikolai
Volkov,
like from Chuck.
Yeah. No, that was Nikolai Volkov was the name of the character way before the Chuck TV show.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Nikolai Volkov is the villain in like season 4.
Oh, really?
He's played by Timothy Dalton.
Oh wow. Okay. Then yeah, they totally took that name from
That's
Nikolai Volkov. Very
insane.
popular.
What?
A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is taken from pro wrestling. Funny enough, but I remember in the '90s when I was in high school in '93, we had like some kind of
The year I was
career
born.
day thing. Yeah, I was in high school, and we had a career day thing, and there was a TV studio that came out, and they were interviewing students, and I was one of the students in front of the whole school, and they came up to me with the microphone, and what do you want to do when you get out of high school? And I said, I want to be an announcer in professional wrestling, and literally the whole high school laughed. Like everybody was laughing, like I was some joke, and
Sounds like
and
my
it bothered
life.
me a lot, and then. I ended up doing it, of course, in my adult life, thank God, and I did it really, really well. But when I was in senior in high school, wrestling, the popularity blew up. All of a sudden, it was super sexy, and like it was really hardcore. They're like really slamming chairs into each other, and lots of blood and cursing, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, became really, really popular. And Stone Cold Steve Austin embodied like the blue collar beer drinking, flipping his boss off, Mr. McMahon, flipping him off and kicking his boss's butt. And who doesn't want to kick their boss's butt? So it was super popular in high school. So at the very beginning of high school, I got laughed at. At the end, everybody knew I'm the wrestling guy. And everybody started coming to me and asking me lots of questions. And I'm like an encyclopedia, giving them all of a sudden I'm cool because I was already a big fan of it before it was cool. And then eventually it wasn't cool anymore, and I'm still a fan, so.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that was the last question. So thank you guys so much for writing in there to our mailbag. Remember, if you want your questions read, you can literally send it any way you want through social media DMs, on our website on the supergamerboys.com, or if you join us on Discord. Supergamerboys.com/Discord, then you can write in on the channel there and write those in for future episodes.
Telegraph. Morse code.
AOL chat. I still have my AOL Instant Messenger up. You never know. Alrighty, guys. It is time for the Nerdy Nudes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the Nerdy News.
Nice. So this first news story comes from Games Radar. PlayStation gives you the closest look yet at the PS5 and its design. This comes from Alex Avard over there. This was the most bizarre. I don't know if you guys watched this video. It was a really weird kind of bizarre video. I was like, I don't know who this is for. Yeah. But Sony was like, this is a good idea to do. So new PS5...
They got their most uncomfortable person in the entire tech department to take apart a PlayStation 5.
Yes.
And he's
it's the photo is great. There's two photos. There's one of him sitting at a table, just looking really uncomfortable with all the pieces and parts sprawled out on the table in front of him. And then there's another one of him sitting super awkwardly uncomfortable with his arm around the PS5 like this. And literally like this. That's how big the PS5 is. He struggles to get his arm goes only halfway around it. That's how huge the PS5
is. He's I've spent so much time with this machine. I do not want to give it a hug.
I never want to see
it away
this again.
from me.
Get it out of the room. Oh man!
I'm gonna drop this on purpose.
That's in the bloopers. Is at the end, he just oops. A new PS5 teardown video has given us an inside look into the console's design just a few weeks ahead of its November 12th release. The breakdown arrives alongside a new post on the PlayStation blog by Masayasu Ito, EVP of Hardware, Engineering, and Operation at Sony Interactive Entertainment, who writes that the video is designed to give fans a look at all of the magic happening inside the PS5 that brings out the beautiful games you'll experience this holiday season. The video shows Yasuhiro Utori, VP of the Mechanical Design Department at Sony, disassembling the entire console right down to its circuit boards, presenting an in-depth look at the PS5's cooling system, internal architecture, and design functionality. It also gives us another decent sense of just how big the PS5 really is and why PlayStation decided to maintain such a hefty scale for its next generation of gaming hardware. You can, at the very least, reduce that size somewhat by removing the PS5's vertical base, which the video confirms is removable via a screw. Yeah, it has this weird like base that you have to, if you want to stand up, it has to use a base, and if you want to lay down, you have to take the base off, unscrew it, and then clip it to the bottom. That
Kinda
was a
like
feature. I'm like
the
that.
Wii, except the Wii didn't have a screw.
Right, the Wii was easy
like a dog
to
using
just
one.
you just like take it out and put it on its side. The PS5 you have to like unscrew things and clip things, and it's like holy smokes, it's gonna be such a pain. Like what happens when you lose that screw? Like you're done. Like
You will never be able to put it inside of the base ever again.
right, or it's just gonna teeter. Like no one touch it, no one breathe.
The fan's gonna kick on. It's just gonna start wobbling back and forth.
Right,
flops over.
So that was one of yeah, you guys said you didn't watch it, but I did. All like 7 minutes of this guy awkwardly taking apart this PS5.
Wow.
In silence and speaking Japanese, so I didn't understand any of it either. But at one point...
Wow. Gary, you're so dedicated. You are so much more dedicated than
That's not the word.
Sakurai.
It's called being a crazy fanboy.
It is kind of a crazy fanboy.
It's called sacrifice. It was for the pod. I sacrificed for the pod. Boy, he pulled out the fan. The fan in that thing, it's hefty. Like it makes sense why the unit's so big. Like the console itself is big because they had to fit this big honking fan. So basically, when he tore it down, what you're able to see is there's the front is all vents on either side of where like the disc tray would be, or I guess the discless one, with the cases, I guess the white skin on the side, because there's like a black, think of like an Oreo cookie inside out. Inside the cream part, there's vents on either side. And what that does is it diverts it straight in, and then it's designed to literally like blow across the circuit board, which has a massive heat sink. Like basically the whole console is heat sink. So the fan is like, I don't know, 5 inches in diameter, 6 inches in diameter. Like it's like a circular vortex fan. So not like a regular fan blade. It's an actual like almost like vortex looking fan, like in a vacuum or something like that. And then a heat sink that is like as big as a console is. Like look at that picture and how freaking big the PlayStation is. The whole thing is all heat sink to keep that sucker cool. So that's great. That's fantastic. Like I'm excited to see, what that actually turns into in people's homes, because right now it's a huge problem for the PS4 is the noise the fan makes and how hot it gets. And the hotter it gets, the more the fan runs, and harder and louder, and it's just like this escalating kind of conflict there. But yeah, I don't know. It was just interesting to watch. No, I had to take that back. It was not interesting to watch, but it was interesting to see. Not interesting. It'll be interesting now to see what happens though with these parts. Like, okay, they went all out on the cooling system. Yeah. Let's see how well that actually works out for him.
I think I only watched like 30 seconds of it. And I was like, no. I'll just read the recap. And basically the recap said, it gets really hot, so we have a really big fan inside, and there's also a really big heat sink.
Yeah.
That's really all it said. I was like, oh, so I saved myself 7 minutes.
The other thing totally. But the other thing that I noticed, and I've seen a couple other people mention, the sides, the white parts of like the shell of it, they pop off extremely easily. And what made me think,
dust.
A couple things. Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with cleaning dust out would be way easier. But what someone else mentioned, and the idea that popped in my head is, I wonder if there will be, I'm trying to think how to compare this. Oh, I guess it'd be like the Xbox 360. I wonder if they're going to sell skins for the thing. Do you think they're going to have like special edition skins that they sell? Like you can change the quote unquote faceplates. Like they come off real easy, and it's like, it's all of it. Like with the PS4, it's just like a little sliver of it. Like the top half pops off. Do you think that's a possibility at all? Like, I don't know, that seems cool to me, like to be able to customize it. Like, oh, I want a red one. I want a black one, blue one, whatever. God of War special edition one.
I would never spend any money on any cosmetics for any of my consoles ever.
No? Yeah, but just because you wouldn't doesn't mean that other people won't.
Yeah, maybe it's probably just because I'm just the old curmudgeon and don't care.
Did you do that with your 360? Did you ever customize it all?
No, it made it like all the skins look so ugly. Like these giant stickers you'd put on them.
No, not the stickers, the actual faceplates.
The skins. So I saw somebody's Xbox that was made with the wood stuff that ended up looking like an Atari.
That's not what I'm talking about.
A couple of days ago. It looked amazing. Amazing.
That's cool. That's really cool. But that's not what I'm talking about. Xbox, like Microsoft actually sold faceplates. You could pop the plastic off and pop new ones on. Like I had one for my 360.
I remember some of those. And still no. I think the only Xbox that actually didn't look like an Xbox that looked cool would have been the Halo 3 themed one. It was like the the marine green with like the gold.
That was sweet.
Like lights. Yeah. That was cool. But even then, really I was like, I'll just buy the cheaper one. Yeah. It's gonna play the games.
Now, so I don't know. Granted, when I had my 360, that was like middle school / high school for me. I mean, that could be a huge market for the PS5. Like, I don't know. Like, my thought is like, if it's that easy to pop on and off, they could totally sell skins for like $60.
Yeah, so expensive.
Like 50, $60 and have like sweet designs and colors. Like, I guarantee you, if Sony doesn't do it though, there's going to be a third-party market. Like, people are going to do it. They're going to be 3D printing them and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought that was interesting because it was
I can see some God
very
of War
easy.
Last of Us themed ones.
Yeah, 100%. After watching this, I was like, oh, it's extremely easy to tear apart your PS5. Like with the PS4, whenever I had to pop it open to swap a hard drive or when I want to clean it, it's kind of a pain. Yeah, with the PS5, I'm like, oh, this is really easy. Like you could take it down, strip it down the same way he did, like with ease, which is interesting.
Yeah. The other thing they noted too was that the SSD slot for the expandable storage is like super easy to get to. Like,
I think I do remember that. Yeah, it wasn't in this article here, but so that'll be super nice too. If you do want to upgrade your SSD in the future, just quick little pop in and out.
You can't get rid of the old one. The main one, there's only an expansion slot. So like the main one it's embedded into it's embedded into the motherboard. So there's only an expansion slot. So you can only add more. You can only add an SSD. You can't swap in another one to be your main one.
I totally missed that. I did not realize there was an expansion slot. That's awesome.
Well,
that's
do
a cool
your research,
feature.
Garrett.
Well, okay. I watched the video.
He couldn't because he was spending 7 minutes watching the video.
Yeah, see, I ended up just reading about it instead of wasting my life watching some...
I don't know how to speak Japanese. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what he was saying in Japanese. He's like, listen, dummy, go read about this. Why am I here?
Yeah, why am I doing this? But yeah, so nothing huge out of that, but I don't know, just some cool little tidbits of information it'll be interesting how they pan out in the future here, especially with compared to another article that we're going to read a little later in this episode about Xbox. But next we have some more PlayStation Rock Block.
All I'm going to say first of all.
Yes?
The first thing I noticed about this episode, reading the notes, is that Garrett spent time making sure to drop in all the cool, good news about PS5, and then dropped in the one article that was Xbox negative.
The last 2 or 3 episodes, all we've done is gushed about the Xbox. So you can go back and look at our show notes. Like the last 2 or 3 episodes, all we've done is talk about how amazing the Xbox is and how we're all excited to get one. This is the first time.
I'm for equal representation of both consoles. And
okay, well, PlayStation has some catching up to do because so far we've been crapping on them the last few weeks. So
I will agree. We've been very negative towards PS5.
Yeah,
that's how I define, which is fine with me because that's how I define equal representation. When I get what I want.
Interesting. Okay. Very interesting.
Sound like anything else going on in politics?
So PlayStation trophy levels are getting updated. This is from IGN. They confirmed to transfer to PS5. So are any of you guys trophy hunters?
I'm starting to become one. I started looking at the trophy list for Horizon Zero Dawn. I was like, I can do that.
Okay.
Now I've got the urge to go back through to beat that. And same thing with Days Gone. I was looking at the trophy list for Days Gone. I was like, I could do that too. So
nice.
Yeah, so reading this news, it's kind of got me. I don't know what the rank means.
Yes. So yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens now. So now that you're getting into the trophy hunting thing, they are changing up the trophy system a bit to increase trophy level range from just 1 to 100. Right now it's a scale 1 to 100. I guess, I don't know, mine's like a 12. I don't know if that's good or bad. They're changing it to 1 to 999. essentially and that's grading scale on how many platinums, gold, silver, bronze you have. I guess it's already gone live on PS4. It said later tonight in North America, which that was on October 7th. So cool. Last week, apparently it's already live. I haven't fired up my PS4 in a few days, so I haven't seen it. But if you're, actually, that's the example it gives. If your current trophy level is 12, you will now jump somewhere in the low 200s. The exact level will depend on the number and grades of trophies you required. There will be no changes to the trophies already owned, so you're not going to lose anything. So any of you who are scared about, all you trophy hunters, nothing should be lost or degraded in any way. But they're using a new calculation system that's going to be more optimized and rewarding. The trophy level icon as well. So next to your name right now, there's like just a generic star, and then with your level there. So like mine's like 12, 11 or 12 or something like that. Maybe it's not even that high. I don't know. Now it's actually going to show different icons depending on where you are. So it's basically all a way just to kind of like brag and show off your trophy hunting abilities a little more, kind of make it a little more social on the PlayStation Network, which is, kind of a fun. Yeah, exactly. Kind of a fun thing. So even within like each level, bronze, silver, and gold, there's 3 different tiers, like, 1 to 99, 100 to 199, 2 to 299. And then obviously if you're level 999, you have a sweet platinum logo next to your name, which anyone who has that, just crazy. I don't know how you'd ever get that. Spend way too much time playing video games. But yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing. Because I don't know, to me it's like the trophy system wasn't broken. So what do you think would spur them on to think, like, I don't know, we're like, oh, I think it's time to update our trophy system? Like, it just seems like a random thing, right?
Yeah, don't everybody go at once, but let me share with you real quick.
I think Zetch froze. I think his internet dropped because I was expecting him to answer and then he didn't. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Why do you think Sony revamped their trophies?
I'm looking at the photo of him right now, and I think he's just so shocked by that question, and he's just contemplating it in his brilliant mind. In fact, he's so hardcore he's not even blinking right now. That's how hardcore Zetch is. He's an intense guy. And you know what? Now we can start talking about all the negative stuff that you've been wanting to say about him all the time that you never do. Oh, no, I froze. No.
What? No, you're here.
Okay. On my screen, I froze.
Okay.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're back. Yay.
Yeah.
Sorta.
In the middle of hear you guys talking, but I don't know, froze, and that's weird.
You sound like a robot.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we can't hear you, understand you at all. But JJ, why do you think Sony would be upgrading the trophy system now? What do you think would spur them on? Like, I don't know, because you're not really interested in trophies,
no, I'm not. Like, but I think that it goes back to they're trying to compete with Xbox. Xbox is really great at social gaming, and I think that trophies and bragging rights are a big thing for you when you're playing with your friends. Like, oh man, look how much better my score is than yours. And I think that they're just trying to put an emphasis on that right now because Xbox really is killing it on the social gaming front. There is more and more people that are, especially right now during COVID, that's how they socialize with others, is by getting home after work and getting on and jumping on, playing some Warzone with their buddies. So I would just say, like, yeah, I think it's in a competition for that socializing gamer that they've not really gotten behind. They're more of they're getting behind people like me who are hey, I want to just veg out and play a story game and have some beautiful vistas and be told a great story and kind of get lost in a great big world on my own. So I think they're just going for that social gamer that Xbox has just dominated.
All right. I think I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on why Sony would decide to revamp their trophy system now? Nope, he's gone again.
He's so shocked by my answer. Once again, he is so blown away by the brilliance that was pouring forth from my mouth right now. And Zetch, if you agree with everything I say, don't blink right now.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Yeah, because I mean, it definitely socializes their online space a little more. Not that like it wasn't social before. But yeah, you're right. Like it kind of, their main focus, at least first party, was single player stuff, and multiplayer stuff was generally third party games. And their trophy system was pretty basic, which, if I remember right, I think trophies came out after achievements. So it was kind of like a thing where Xbox already nailed down achievements, and then Sony's like, or everyone is like, hey, Sony, why don't you have something? And finally, Sony just came out with something on PS3, because I don't think PS3 launched with trophies, where Xbox 360 launched with achievements, if I remember right. And so, yeah, I could see that, where it's just kind of like an archaic system that was like, it was already something that was trying to catch up to the 360 that was killing it at the time. And then on top of that was just super basic, because it was like, oh, we just need something now. Let's throw it out there and to make it a little more social. Yeah, I think
Zedge, while you were frozen, what we were doing right now is called vamping. We were trying to fill the air with a bunch of stupid words, waiting for the smart guy to get back on screen. So you're back, you're working, go before you freeze again.
So I kind of think that the reason they're doing it is more like a mathematical thing. So like you have like X total amount of games you have on your console, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you introduce a whole other library of games and you're still keeping the same old score, but with more games, then it's probably going to jack up the ranking system a little bit. So in order to offset that, I kind of think they were like, okay, we'll make it from 1 to 100 to 1 to 999 or whatever it is.
Right.
And now you can kind of keep the same rank proportionally based off of more games. Does that make sense? That'd be my
Folks, he's been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, and he still comes up with smarter stuff than the two of us put together. Thanks, Zed.
But it's just interesting.
You guys did great too.
Like they didn't revamp it after, like between PS3 and PS4, so that's kind of interesting.
They didn't have to.
Like, yeah.
They also didn't have a whole lot of people playing because Xbox was winning.
Right. Yeah, 360 was kind of killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potentially. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like a bad thing. I'm not like, why would they do that? But it's also just like, oh, it's an interesting thing to like upgrade right now. But
I don't even, does Xbox have like a ranking system? I know they have achievements.
I think, no, not really. Like, it's just like, there's just a number next to your name, and it's just been counting basically since the 360 era.
Yeah, that's right. You got gamer score.
Yeah,
which is just like
this,
every trophy you get is just the total.
Yeah, it's like when you quote unquote platinum an Xbox game, you get all the achievements. It's what it adds up to 1,000 points or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like like every game is 1,000 points. So basically, it just adds those points, whatever you've gotten over the years, into your gamer score. But there isn't like levels where that's something. Yeah, very different with PlayStation here. They're like categorizing everyone within. Oh, you're either like a bronze tier player, silver, gold, platinum tier, like trophy hunter, stuff like that. So I wonder how sustainable this will be now. Like, this almost seems more like harder to sustain for long term, the more games that keep popping in. But I don't know. I'm not good at math, so what do I know?
I don't know anything.
Cool. Does anyone else have anything to add to our trophy discussion there?
No.
Other than I just wanted to kind of touch on that. That is upgrading, because I know we do have some trophy hunters out there listen, so look out for that. And if you have thoughts on it too, let us know. Like, if you are super into trophies and you're interested in this change, or you don't like this change, write us, because I'd be interested to talk about that. The next news story comes from PlayStation blog. Details on backwards compatibility and how Game Boost enhances select PS4 titles and more. So basically, the backwards compatibility on PS5 consists of just PS4 games. We already all know that. And it talks about, so this blog post gets really nitty gritty about how if you have the digital edition, obviously you can only play digital PS4 games. You can't put a disc in a digital edition because it doesn't have a disc drive. I'm like, right. Thanks, Sony, for telling me that. Like, that's super helpful.
Well, for you dumb people out there, I thought it was interesting too. I wonder if they also called it out too, because that would have given them an opportunity to be like, oh, you just need to buy an extra peripheral. And they don't even offer an extra peripheral. It doesn't seem like.
No. Yeah, it's not like you can plug in like a HD Blu-ray disc drive and a USB port and be like, okay, just pop it in there.
Yeah.
Like,
which is crazy to me. I mean, why not just like charge for the? I mean, I guess I get it, because if you make the console plus a peripheral cheaper than just buying
Right.
You know, you have to make that one really expensive peripheral.
Oh, 100%.
It's got to be like $120.
Basically, it'd have to equal out to either be the same or more than just buying the regular standard one. It's like, okay, like what's the point at that point? Right. Although, what was it? It was 360. Didn't they had a peripheral disk drive that to upgrade from DVDs to HD DVDs? It wasn't even Blu-ray. It was, you could see play HD DVDs on your 360. I remember that because PS3 did Blu-rays. And Xbox only did DVDs, and then they're like, "Oh, here's a peripheral. You can plug it in the USB drive." But it only did HD DVDs, which is like still not as good as Blu-ray, and never turned out to be anything. No, I don't think I've known anyone who owned an HD DVD ever. Did you Zetch? Did you have HD DVDs? Okay.
I barely knew what they were. I was like, "What is this?" And then
What, it doesn't play in my regular DVD player. What the heck? But what was more interesting to me was actually the game boosting that they talk about, which, actually, I don't know. Here it is.
Long story short, it makes your games look good.
Yeah, so it's going to leverage game boost. So it's going to give you...
That kind of dials it down. Yeah, that explains everything.
So it's going to improve and give you more stable frame rates. It's going to unlock frame rates, dynamic resolution. So it's going to boost up to like upscale to a 4K. So, I mean, obviously, if the game's not 4K, can't just create it, but it upscales it that way. It says games will take advantage of the PS5's new user interface features, like user experience features. So I wonder what that means.
That we know everything about because PlayStation forgot how to launch a console.
Right. Yeah. It says, but more to come on that later. It's like, oh, your console comes out in a month, guys. Like, you're not going to tell us what that means.
I just love how they just let Xbox dominate the news cycle week after week. Yeah, and like they're like, hey, we got this boring video of a guy taking apart our console. Check that out.
Yeah. No, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing over there. So games will have game boost, which is really cool. And the other really neat thing is, I mean, it's old news for Xbox. Xbox is like, yeah, pretty much everything's backwards compatible. But for PlayStation, there was some confusion a few months back because they made some statements that made us think only, I don't know, maybe a few, like couple hundred games might be backwards compatible on PS5. Yeah. They've come out and said that 99% of games will be backwards compatible. In fact, there's
99% of PS4 games.
PS4 games will be backwards compatible on the PS5. And in fact, they even put out a list of the games that aren't compatible with backwards compatibility, and there's only like 11 on there. So I'm like, that's pretty good. Yeah. And none of them are games that anyone would ever sing. I was reading there's a game called We Sing. Anyone would ever play. So like We Sing. Have you ever heard of We Sing? Like probably not. So that's amazing. I mean, that's good to know because a lot of people were worried, oh, am I going to be able to play, I don't know, this random third-party game that I'm so-and-so made from wherever. And it's like, okay, we don't know. We weren't sure a few months back. So everyone, be rest assured, all of your games will be playable except for Joe's Diner and We Sing, and just deal with it. So if you've heard of any of those games and like those games, I'm sorry, you can only play it on your PS4. One game developer actually came out though and officially announced, like, yes, we are backwards compatible on the PS5. It's Ghost of Tsushima, and what they wanted to announce was that it will be playable at 60 frames per second because the PS4 and PS4 Pro was capped at 30, and so I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool to shout out because no one else has really talked about it. None of the other developers have announced that. But I just know how much you love Ghost of Tsushima.
I probably won't play it.
You won't go back and play it in all 60 frames per second glory? Okay, interesting.
I already have fun with it.
I thought you'd be a little more excited about that. But okay. Oh yeah, I guess why you've done so much, like you're done with it.
I got nothing else to do in that game. Like, yeah. 60 frames, I can turn it on, run around, and then turn it off.
He runs really smooth now.
Yeah, like, wow, this is great.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was cool, like, because it's not just a graphical update. It's not like it's just going to look a little prettier and load faster. Like, it actually is doing, like, technical things like, oh, it's going to bump up frame rates, like double frame rates and stuff that. So.
Did they say if that's going to apply to Legends as well, like the expansion? Or the DLC?
They didn't say specifically, but don't know.
One could only assume. I'm
sure it would. Yeah. So that's the first game we've heard of getting like an actual like a significant boost with the game boost.
That is a game boost.
So it'll be interesting to, I don't know, I'm looking forward to hearing how other games get boosted because, I don't know, like I'm surprised like Sony Santa Monica hasn't come out because like, I don't know, playing God of War with like
better God of War.
like better graphics. I don't know, like they were pretty dang good, but imagine like crisper, because right now you have to choose on God of War, performance or quality. Imagine being able to do both, have 60 frames per second with the 4K. Like, holy smokes. Yeah. That would be amazing. So, yeah, look forward to that on your PS5 consoles in the future. All right, this last news story. This is the one, it is negative to Xbox, but it turns around, and my opinion on it is not negative. That's the thing. So the article is negative, but bear with me.
Okay.
Over at VGC, journalist says Xbox Series X can get hot like a fireplace. So as we talked about last week, people have been getting preview consoles. And someone came out and, in a vlog, I guess, a video discussing his experience with the Series X. Ken Bogard's video echoed others' praise for the quietness of the console's cooling system, but expressed surprise at how much heat the console emits as a result. He said, the Series X is hot, like really hot. It doesn't make any noise, but damn, it's hot. The console is emitting heat like crazy. It's almost like a fireplace shaft. You can heat up your flat with it. Bogard went on to note that the heat his pre-release console had emitted was generated entirely while playing backwards compatible games and navigating menus, as he does not currently have access to any Series X titles. In a separate video, Giant Bomb co-host Jeff Bakalar said his pre-release console was emitting a significant amount of heat, even when in standby mode, and even appeared to burn his hand on its storage expansion during a live stream. Here's what's crazy. This was just plugged in standby mode behind me, and you guys, the entire thing is a little toasty, he said, emphasizing that the console he'd been testing is pre-release hardware. It seems like in the way like a lot of the other consoles are doing stuff while you're not using them, it seems like this thing might be doing something while you're not using it to the point where it needs to exhaust heat. I read that article, but I actually read something else. I don't know if it was in that article or another article, and I think you have to keep this in mind. When they're using those backward compatible games like that, they are going to work harder to try to up-res them and to get them to be beefed up. So I'm sure that it's not going to run as hot when they're running on the actual Xbox Series X games that are created for this season. Almost guaranteed it's going to work harder on older games trying to get them to be upgraded. Maybe, I don't know. So here's my take on all, and I'll finish this out. Everyone did claim though, everyone's like, despite the heat, like you can't hear the fan at all. Like it's amazing. Like it doesn't make any noise. So despite as much heat as it's pumping out,
it's not working very hard.
It's whisper silent. Like, well, no, that's what they say. Like people have said, like it feels like a blow dryer. Like it's blowing a lot of heat out, but it's like dead silent, which is awesome. Like compared to like the PS4 Pro, that thing screams like a jet engine. So here's my take on all this, and I wrote it in the show notes, and I just wrote, better out than in. So what I've seen a lot of people smarter than me, who actually know things about technology and electronics, they're like, of course it's going to output heat because, that's electronics grade heat, and if it's better that it comes out than sits in there and overheats the console, right? Like, I don't know. It's one of those things, people are freaking out how much heat it's putting out. Like the guy mentioned, it's like a fireplace chimney. It's like, well, yeah, that's good. Like if it wasn't doing that, it'd turn into a bomb and blow your house up or like burn your house down. Yeah, it'd start melting it'd melt in your TV stand.
Burning down the house.
So I think it's this thing where people are completely misunderstanding like how heat distribution works in electronics. Like you buy a high-end gaming PC, it's going to do the same thing. You touch that thing, it's going to be hot. It's going to be blowing a lot of heat out those fans. And so I don't think this is a negative thing. I think it's a thing where people just don't understand how super high-powered like gaming consoles maybe work. I mean, at least in a small package. Like it's a very small package with a lot of power. And Xbox, this is another article. So this is where, it gets positive. Aaron Greenberg actually wrote on Twitter. He's their, does he do their marketing stuff over there? I always forget Aaron Greenberg does. He's with Microsoft. He actually tweeted back at someone, "The console will output system heat out of the exhaust, just as any other console will. Our engineering team confirmed the heat leaving the console is not significantly different than the Xbox One X. This matches my experience at home. Quiet, fast, and impressive power for the size." So, I don't know. Yeah, I just thought it was very interesting how everyone is freaking out about the heat problem on the Xbox Series X. That was everyone's first thought. It was like, oh, don't buy it. It's a piece of garbage. It's going to burn down your house kind of thing. But I don't know. Like, that's just the way it's designed, right? Like, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, are you guys worried about it overheating and dying? Or does this...
No,
are you guys...
not at all.
Okay, because I like... Yeah, because
No,
I know that was
if
an
it
issue
was
with the
putting out
360.
so much heat that the fan was having to, make a lot of noise to work over hard, then yeah, sure. But with it being whisper quiet, no, it's meant to off-put heat. So it's, again, like you were saying, so it doesn't destroy the unit.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure if you guys had any fears or anything with this, because I mean, Xbox has had issues with heating issues. Like, that's the 360 Red Ring of Death, was because it was overheating and stuff coming apart on the inside.
Yeah, and these are also, as they've said, pre-release models. So we'll see what the actual release. If the release model comes out and it's putting off like an odd amount of heat, because I mean, like, I can see it both ways. Yeah, it's not melting the plastic, but 360 overheated and it didn't melt the plastic either.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, if it's not the melting of the plastic that we're worried about, it's melting of the circuits inside. So it's getting rid of all the heat, cool. But I mean, well, time will tell. I mean, I'm no technologist. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I don't know.
Sorry,
I was just it was one of those things where everyone was just like freaking out over it this last week, and I think we just have to, we'll wait and see. And it was interesting. Everyone kept reiterating, like, these are pre-release models, these are test models, it's not finished product. But yeah, again, even if they are final product, it's like, okay, it's better out than in, right? Like, they could have horrible ventilation and okay, you don't feel a lot of heat coming out. Oh, great. But then it would straight up, like, then it would burn you when you touched it. Like, you touch that thing and that'd mess you up. That'd be bad. Heat sinks coming apart and circuits melting inside, coming unsoldered. That would not be great. So I don't know. I don't think we have anything to fear. But if we do, we'll definitely be talking about it in a couple of weeks when people's Xboxes are blowing up. Or
yeah.
Is it 3 weeks? Does it come out in 3 weeks? Is that right? 3.5 weeks? It's like less than a month now.
10th.
Yeah, it's less than a month. Okay, so just shy of 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Man. Did you ever get a hold of one, Zetch? Or you haven't gotten your email yet, huh?
I haven't gotten the email yet.
Okay, I haven't gotten mine either. They said it'll be close to October 19th, but I wasn't sure if you'd gotten one earlier or not.
We got one more week.
I thought you guys got an email stating that you guys were a go for...
We're both a go for the loan. We're a go on the loan, but then they said they sent us another email closer to the 19th because we had an error in our checkout that they'd give us a second chance to get one.
So I'm going to have you show me where to go for the loan thing, and will they take a check?
No. They don't pay. Yeah, they don't take it. Yeah, that's credit card.
Oh, even better. That's even better. Oh, wait, you have to have a credit card. Okay. Does it have to have your name on it, or?
It's probably better that way. Probably better that way.
Can I borrow one of your guys's to put that?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, you know what? I feel like neither of you guys even thought about it. You just shut it down real fast. I think there needs to be some processing here, boys. Exactly. Maybe we need to. Let's just, maybe we need to.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that's all the news I had for this week. So, yeah, nothing. I don't know. It's getting towards the end of the year. I feel like there's not a lot of like crazy stuff happening now. It's just like we're ramping up into new consoles, and then coming into winter season where games kind of slow down. So it's this weird like wave we're in right now. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited for the launch of these new consoles, but we'll have to wait and see how well they fly or how badly they crash and burn. Let's get into the Patreon end. Alrighty, guys. If you love the show that we bring you each and every week, you can go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys and support us over there for just $1 a month. Start out at that. You get episodes early and ad-free. Our eternal love, mostly JJ's eternal love. He'll even come to your home and, do your cooking and cleaning, that type of thing, just for $1 a month. So imagine if you support us at a higher level. It's crazy. For $5 a month, we have our the next tier where you get our show notes early as well. So ahead of time when I'm writing them up, usually a day or two before, sometimes a day of if I'm like really not with it. But you always get them before the show goes live that way, or before we record. So you can chime in, leave your own comments, concerns, questions, whatever you want about the news stories we're going to be talking about. $10 a month, you get the shout out on the show. That's our Patreon sponsor tier. And $15 a month, you get to be a Patreon producer, where you get to pitch segments. You get to be on shows. Adrian's been on a few of our shows, a couple episodes. We love having him. So if you really love what we do and you want to be a part of it, support us over there. And you'll have our ear for segments, for ideas, thoughts, concerns, whatever. And then, you know what? Maybe we'll invite you on to be a guest. So, supergamerboys.com/ or Patreon, or patreon.com/supergamerboys. I don't know why I said that other URL. They both work. Support us over there. And I forgot to mention Super Gamer Book Club. Everyone gets that. End of every month. You sign up right now, you already get last month's unlocked immediately. And then at the end of this month, last Friday, you'll get the new one for Mass Effect 2. So support us. Very much appreciated. And helps keep the lights on and keep us playing games, and hopefully doing some giveaways soon. It's been a while since we did a giveaway. We have these box of t-shirts in my office here. I need to give away a couple. Yeah. So, cool.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, like he said, I come to your house and do some house cleaning, and I do the dirty stuff, the stuff you don't want to do. Like, you got a clogged up toilet? Not a problem. I'm here for you, baby. Support us on Patreon. You want me to, wash your unmentionables? I'll do that too. I didn't say well. And I'll probably use the eco-friendly soap, the dish detergent stuff that doesn't really do very much.
Dish soap on my laundry? Oh, maybe you don't want to.
You know what I find? That it creates more bubbles, and it's more fun. Or as Zeb says, it's funner.
That's what that means.
Zeb says it's funner that way.
Hey, they didn't say debuted.
Yeah, no, that was totally Garrett. He did debuted it.
Funner is an actual word used in common vernacular. Debuted is just incorrect.
It's
I've heard it both ways. Incorrect. I've heard it both ways.
I've never, nobody's ever said it like that, by the way. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon.
Alrighty, guys, let's get back to the show. Alrighty, so this week, some new releases. We had FIFA 21 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and Torchlight 3 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Not a lot of heavy hitters there. I know FIFA's huge. I take that back. FIFA's huge, but not in any of my circles. So for me, I was just like, oh, cool. FIFA's out. The new FIFA. Got that new grass technology. Gotta have the best looking grass, dude. I love the grass in FIFA.
I use it on my lawns.
Yeah,
my backyard.
Set up TVs over all my windows. So when I look outside in my lawn, it's just a FIFA, FIFA beautiful turf. Beautiful turf.
It's the most expensive lawn you'll ever install.
And you
Kids cannot go play on it. No,
can't go play on it. No, definitely can't go play on it. Well, what you guys been playing this week? JJ, you can go first.
I've been playing a little bit of Red Dead. I've gotten a little bit further in the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2. I still love the game. It's still so much fun. But I had a little bit of a crisis. I was playing some Red Dead Redemption 2, and I actually was too tired to play video games. I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys, where you start to play and you're like, man, this game is so great, but it's just like, I got to work too hard for it. I'm just kind of exhausted. So I didn't get very far. I ended up instead just surfing around on Netflix to see. We're getting rid of Netflix pretty soon. So I'm going to try to soak up as much Netflix as I can while I've still got it. So I was going through and I found a TV show called Creeped Out. It's an anthology series. There's two seasons on, and it's very similar to the Twilight Zone. I don't know if you guys have seen the show before, but it's a whole lot of fun. It's kind of cute and quirky and spooky or whatever. Nothing too scary. You could watch it with your kids. It's nothing crazy, but it's that Twilight Zone-esque twist type show that I really, really enjoy, and it's updated and fresh, and they've got some really great stories in it. I think they've got like 23 episodes in 2 seasons, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
Nice.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet. It's on Netflix, you said?
It's similar to Goosebumps, and it's called Creeped Out, and it's on Netflix.
Cool. Let's check that out. So wait, is it like it's not like, is it like family friendly kind of thing? Not family friendly, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, because you compare it to Twilight Zone, it's something like Trudy would like, because Trudy doesn't like horror stuff. But
no, this is totally family friendly. This is something that, I mean, I don't let my kids watch it because like we kind of like really monitor what they get to see.
For
but
like older kids, or like I was thinking like even my wife, who like my wife doesn't like horror, but it may be creepy.
No, I think she would enjoy it. My older daughter would love this show. I think even my son would watch it and be kind of like, there's some spooky elements to it. Nothing too terribly scary, nothing gory. You know, it's all cute and fun, and it's usually like Twilight Zone, where it's people making the choices and getting themselves into trouble with some of their choices. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Pretty sweet. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that one out. I'm kind of interested now. Alrighty, Zetch, what have you been playing?
Been dabbling in a few things. I picked up Crisis Remastered over the weekend.
Okay.
I got it like a discount. It was like $10 off, and then I had like a $10 Epic coupon, so I got like another $10 off. So I was like, okay, I'll pick this game for $20.
Yeah.
And pretty cool. It's Crisis. Feels good. Looks good. Looks really good.
So you're playing on PC if you got it from Epic Store, then obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think if anybody's looking for a throwback remaster game to check out, this would be your game.
How does it feel to play? Because it is old and remastered.
Feels
does
good.
It feel good? Okay.
Yeah, it still feels really good. Like being able to switch between your different suit types and running and stealthing and all that stuff is pretty cool.
I wonder how it compares on console though, because I feel like generally console games age out quicker than PC games, because like the controls on a actual controller have changed so much over the years, like the way they map buttons and stuff, where keyboard and mouse usually generally has stayed somewhat the same, or even if it's not, you can customize it. So I wonder if, like, what the console version would be like, if it'd be like, oh, this really sucks on controller or what. But
yeah, I don't know. I kind of wonder. I might hook up my PlayStation controller to it, or my Xbox controller, and see how it feels.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I didn't really play a whole lot of it. I just kind of like just jumped in and ran through, got to the beach, and then that was it. I think I got into a Jeep. But I've been playing. I got Days Gone back from my friend.
Okay.
And it's a good game, guys. It's not the best game, but when you're just talking on like the scale of like PlayStation exclusives, it's not a bad game. It's got its foibles, you know.
So what? I mean, you say it's not a bad game. Is it better than any PlayStation exclusive you played? Like, where does it rank? Is it at the bottom of PlayStation exclusive, or would you even put it above something else that you can, at least that you can think of off the top of your head?
So I haven't played all the PlayStation exclusives. I like it better than Last of Us Part 2.
JJ doing his deep breathing over there.
Yeah, I'm doing some like Lamaze over here, man, because I feel like I'm about to have birth, you know.
He doesn't try to preach at me and tell me that, you know, I'm a terrible person. No, but it's a good game. I mean, the combat in it could probably use some work. I think the menu felt a little hobbled together. I felt like some of the stuff in it was kind of like, oh, we have to make sure we use all the different features of the PlayStation controller. Menu. We're gonna make you swipe. You can swipe between your menu screens.
Yeah. Gotta use that touchpad for something on there.
Yeah, you know.
I think that Garrett and I were stuck because we were looking forward to Days Gone so much. I mean, it was one of those games that was hyped so well before it came out, and then it kept getting delayed and it kept getting delayed. And then by the time it came out, to me, and I know Garrett had said the same thing, we didn't get very far in it. It felt unplayable because it felt like it was an unfinished game that didn't have polish to it. Whereas like Red Dead Redemption 2, was slightly before that, was so well polished and was just totally completed, and they like perfected the game before it was put out there. Of course, it had little silly things too, like catching on fire or whatever it was, but at least it felt polished. It didn't feel like it was rough and kind of slapped together and rushed at the last minute. So that's why I didn't really give. I tried Days Gone again not that long ago. I borrowed it from Garrett actually because he said, "Dude, I'm never going to play it." And I tried to get into it. I'm not trying to slam the game right now.
No, that's a good
I'd love to make it work. But one of the first things where you're running after somebody on the motorcycle is you're running after him, and then like you kind of just all of a sudden stop, and then you're walking down to him being jacked up on a beach, and you're like, well, that didn't really make sense. It kind of just felt really like a rough cut. Like it just didn't mesh together well. Whereas all the cut scenes and everything from Red Dead just felt so fluid and felt like they kind of leaned into each other. The Days Gone version of the cut scenes just felt like, whoa, where's this coming from? That was kind of random. You know what I mean?
Do you think you didn't like it because you played it so closely to playing Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I did go back and try to play it like I said, but yeah. Yeah.
So I hear the game gets... The reason why I picked it back up again was because I hear the game gets really, really fun once you start fighting like the hordes of zombies, which is supposed to be like the best part about the entire game.
Right, like using the hordes to your advantage or fighting against them, stuff like that.
Yeah, so like once I'm going to try to push through to that point because I think once I get there, it's going to take the game from decent to like, wow, that was really fun. So
for me, I played it really close to launch too. So this was one of those games where for the first like month, or at least for the first few weeks, like almost every day or every other day, they're putting a patch out. Like it came out super buggy and messed up. Yeah. And so that was an issue where I played it a little too close to launch, I think, where they were still in that phase where like I was playing not right at launch. I was probably a month out, but even still at that point, like every week or 3 days or 4 days, they were still putting out like a patch and stuff like that. It was often enough to where they were still struggling to get things like lined up with this game. And so I would love to go back and play it, or at least try it again now that it's been almost 2 years now since it came out. My issue was very similar to JJ, where like things would just like totally like glitch out, where like that's the main thing that stood out in my mind, is that exact story JJ told. I'm on my bike chasing someone, all of a sudden like boom, like all of a sudden a cutscene kicks on. I'm like, that was weird, that was awkward, and then all of a sudden boom, you're in another cutscene, and then boom, I'm just like, okay, I feel like I'm missing context here, like what is going. And I think is my game just straight up just bugging out and like playing like random clips, and then it like just threw me in a mission. I'm like, okay, like what am I doing here, like what's going on? And so I would love to try it again. Again, like it was like back when it first came out, super buggy. So I'd love to try it again eventually. That way, like now that it's almost 2 years after it came out, I'm sure it's way better now. And it's at least playable, because it was just unplayable. I turned it off immediately. I'm like, this isn't even playable. Like I'm done. Like I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm done. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts and maybe try it again one day.
Yeah, it's gonna be my Halloween game, my Halloween season game. I don't celebrate Halloween, but it's the spirit. It feels right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes. I really like the motorcycle mechanics in it. Like that feels really good. Shooting in it, I feel, depending on the gun, I feel like some guns are like way better than other guns. Like they don't really give you a whole lot of really decent variety. But I do like the way how that like the settlement's laid out. I like how it feels like a different zombie world. It's not like, it's not like I'm blanking on zombie games. It's not like a Dead Island. It's not like it's kind of got that I guess almost like a Last of Us vibe, where you kind of like, you know, you have like like you're walking around a world where it's just like, you know, you have them, they're there. You know, it feels more like State of Decay.
Okay.
Yeah, like it feels a little like
I haven't played it 'cause that's an Xbox exclusive, but I've heard a lot about it.
yeah, it feels a little bit more like the open worldiness, and the way you kind of go about taking down nests, essentially feels a little bit more like State of Decay to me. Not exactly, but familiar.
Okay.
I like that. I don't know. I like the stealth in it, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I definitely one I'm interested in like picking up eventually again, like when I'm really like, okay, I don't feel like playing this game or that game, and I, you know, feeling zombies again. That's another thing. I just feel like I, for some reason, just got zombied out after a while, and so it's like,
They're not zombies. They're called freakers.
They're freakers. I'm sorry, they're
Their
freakers.
market people get really upset when you call them freakers, apparently, or when you call them zombies, apparently.
Well, when I'm back in the mood for some freakers, when I'm feeling freaky for freakers, I'll go back to Days Gone and give that a shot. But
and Until Dawn was the other one I was picked up. I'm playing through that again. My first time I played through that was like a couple years ago, and it's always kind of bothered me that I made it to like the end, and then lost like every single one of my characters.
Everyone.
I was like, I think I lost like one or two on the way to the end, and then got to the end. I had like everybody that was remaining, and then I ended the game with only 2 characters left. I think I had Ashley and Chris.
Oh, jeez.
Like, it's stupid. It sucks. So I want to go. And plus, that's a good game. I want to go. That's a great game.
I should play through that with my.
That's a fun game.
Yeah.
I should play through that with my wife because we did the. They did a PlayLink game. It was a phone game where it's essentially like similar to Until Dawn, like the way the story beats go, but it's it's actually like a murder mystery type thing. But then you play on your phone, so you're answering questions on your phones and dialogue options, and it goes back and forth. Like one person does it, and then the next person, or it's like I think you have up to like 6 or 8 people, so that way you can actually like vote against each other, like for a decision. It's a really fun party game. What is the name of that? Hidden Suspects, hidden agenda. I don't remember, something like that. It's a PlayLink game on PS4, and Judy loved that. So I don't know. I totally forgot about Until Dawn. That might be a fun one to go through during October here to do that. You know,
if you like Until Dawn, you should try to play Man of Medan.
No, don't do it.
I hear isn't that another Supermassive game? And did not do as well.
Yes,
it was so
horrible.
Bad. That was our. We did a Halloween special
Spooky Gamer Boys
where we did all October last month or last year.
Yeah, we did a YouTube stream of us playing through the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, no.
We got to the end. We're like, we're sorry. This video series sucked, guys.
This sucked. Yeah.
And more so because the game sucked so bad. We expected way more, like for it to be way scarier, and they're like, oh, it wasn't scary, and it was a bad story. Sorry, everyone.
And we taped everything in one night, so it was like.
Yeah, it was a couple nights. We did a couple nights. Yeah, we did a lot of filming for that. There's a lot of work for not a lot of great stuff, but
that sucks.
That's why we're not doing it again this year. We're gonna maybe figure out something cool in the future, but this year I'm like, nah, it's too much work. I didn't really play much games. I'll just be honest. I played some Minecraft with my brother. It was a lot of fun. Again, I don't normally play Minecraft. I'm not good at it, but it's really fun playing with him because he's good at it and has like a huge. Well, if you guys don't know, we actually have a Super Gamer Boys realm. So if you play Minecraft, join our Discord and send a message to me or my brother on there, Hazel Beef, at Hazel Beef on our Discord channel, and he can hook you up with the code to get into our Super Gamer Boys realm. Yeah, I played around in that for a while. It was a lot of fun. And then I did similar to what JJ was saying, where like you get so tired with a game, like to where it feels like work. Like it's hard to play because you're just way too exhausted. Afterwards, I'm like, I'm kind of getting sleepy, but I want to play some Diablo. Like, I want to play some Diablo 3 on PC. He's like, yeah, sure. So we jumped on there. I played like 5 minutes. Like we got through like half a quest. I'm like, no, I'm too sleepy for Diablo. This takes too much brain work trying to figure out what gear I want to take and all this stuff. Like math is hard right now. So
you went from playing Minecraft to Diablo because Minecraft was making you too tired, and then you couldn't get through Diablo?
Because Diablo, like I was like, oh, it's like to me, like Diablo is way more fun than Minecraft. Like Minecraft is fun enough with my brother, but like the gameplay itself isn't exciting. So I'm like, oh, I love the gameplay of Diablo. This will be fun. This will get me amped up. Maybe it'll help me wake up. And then I got in there and I was like, no, that's just how tired I am. I'm done. Like, I couldn't play more than 5 minutes of Diablo 3. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I know we haven't played in games in a long time, but I'm just an old man. I have 2 kids now. I'm too tired. Like, I have to go to bed early. So yeah, basically my free time was Minecraft for a little bit this weekend, but mostly doing Warhammer stuff, because that's how big of a nerd I am. I'm just putting together some more Warhammer minis, so that's my deal. I'm getting ready for a big game. I know none of you guys care about Warhammer because you're just here for video games, but I'm going to talk about it anyways for a second.
We care about you, Garrett.
You care about
me.
We
do care about you, Garrett.
Okay. In November, we set a date, finally, me and my buddy. For months, we've been putting together our armies, painting our armies, getting our army list put together. And finally, he's like, we just need to set a date, because we keep spending more money and making our armies bigger, but we haven't actually played with them because we're just both so excited about like the hobby itself. Like, the hobby is so fun. We're like, oh, we need to just like stop buying the cool new models coming out and just play the game. And so we set a date in November.
So horrible, dude. I gotta say this. I gotta very quickly make a public apology. Hey, Kajoma 01, the board. Earlier I called you a nerd for watching Star Wars movies. I want to say I'm sorry, dude. You are the coolest cat and kitten on the earth compared to Garrett and his stupid Warhammer little figurines that he paints. Dude, you're a stud, Kajoma. You are a stud, and women will fall at your feet. But Garrett, you are a super, super nerd. I'm just saying.
Some might say
I've spoken.
Super gamer boy. Yeah, so I don't know, I'm just stoked because we finally set a date, and it's like, okay, I have a deadline now. I need to get everything painted, everything together, and my army list put together, and I don't know, it's gonna be a blast. I haven't played an actual game of Warhammer. I've told the story before, because I got out of the hobby for about more than 10 years. It's been a long time.
Do you
10, 15
actually
years,
finish games of Warhammer, or is this like your video games where you just
no.
Oh, Dan! Oh, burn! Oh, you can't hear the nerd burn. That's even worse.
Okay. No, it's a board game. Like, we played to completion. We will finish a fight. Yes.
Because video games are meant to be completed too, Garrett.
They are.
Yeah, but video games
exactly what they're made for.
Video games are designed to save and walk away from. This huge board game that takes up the entire kitchen table kind of has to be done by the next mealtime. So it's like we have to finish it tonight, or we tear it down and we never finish. Like, we never finish it. There's no save state. It's just done. So, that's a lot more worth beating in a night. Going through not worth, but a little easier to get through in a night. You can play a game of Warhammer in like a couple 3-4 hours. Name one game that I could beat in 3-4 hours.
Journey. Tale of Two Brothers.
Okay.
Brothers. A Tale of Two Sons. Yeah, that's it.
BioShock?
Oh. No, definitely not BioShock.
You
Maybe if you just stayed up all
anyway.
night, didn't sleep. Okay, I see how it is. All right, well, enough bashing of me. That's it for our show this week. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Super Mario Brothers on the NES.
We very much appreciate all you listeners and viewers on YouTube as well.
Paperboy. You can do
Thank you guys.
as well.
Okay, well, you're just gonna keep throwing them out there while I'm trying to do the outro. That's fine. Keep doing it. If you really love our show, you can support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys. Get sweet perks over there, like episodes early and ad-free. You can also get our Super Gamer Book Club episodes. Supergamerboys.com/store. You can get our sweet merch. JJ's wearing a shirt that's not for sale in a store, but has other things like with our logo on it. Rate and review us over on podcast apps if you can. That would be super helpful. On YouTube, thumbs up this video, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Then you know when the new episodes are coming out. And during the week, you can find us at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I am over on Twitter at gmorlang. JJ is over on Twitter at...
I'm over at Twitter at JJPurdom.
And Zetch is over somewhere on social media. Maybe not. Sometimes he deletes them. Sometimes he has them. Do you have anything this week?
I'm just on Instagram at
Okay.
NerdDadZetch.
Okay.
You can always hit me up on
Instagram at
Discord if
NerdDadZetch.
you really want to get a hold of me.
Yeah, if you really want to get a hold of Zech, join us over at supergamerboys.com/Discord. We have a lot of fun over there.
Ooh, a boy in his blob, Garrett. A boy in his blob.
One is Bob.
I don't. Okay. Thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics, Facebook.com/Ground
Sonic the
Floor
Hedgehog.
Graphics. That is all I have.
Which one though? Which one?
One.
Oh, 1-1.
That's all I have for the show this week. That's your cue, JJ.
All right, everybody. Thank you so very much for joining us this week, and thank you for just being here while we tease Garrett for his Warhammer nerddom. So he's Garrett Morlang, the captain of the ship, the captain of all nerdosity. And then that other guy, that diminutive little troll of a man, that is Zech Keenan.
Jeez.
He loves Lord of the Rings, like a lot. And I'm JJ Furter, and we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Good night and good luck.